Hey guys, it's Jess. What's going on? Uh, Today I'm doing a video about something that I was kind of thinking on the past couple days. I was trying to decide, like, do I really want to do a video on this? Do I not? I don't know. Is this going to help anybody? And then I was kind of like, even if it doesn't help somebody else, it'll probably help me in some ways. So it always helps to get my thoughts out there and just kind of express myself. So, um, let's see. A whole bunch of stuff going on in the real world right now. Things that I have that are just tons of anxiety and stress and stuff. I talked about some of it before, um, but my mind started rolling around on on a certain particular concept of something I'm dealing with that I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle it. And it's a very difficult thing, and it's a long progress. It's something I've been struggling with most of my life. And so for whatever reason, there was something that happened a day or two ago that got me kind of thinking on it, and I wanted to talk about it. So, what I want to talk about is the very concept or idea of bettering yourself or becoming a better person. Now, I know some people out there are probably going to be like, well, what do you mean being a better person? Like, I mean, you don't have to change who you are or whatever. But that's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is taking the steps necessary to move yourself onward and go somewhere different than where you already are. And so for me, there's like a whole slew of things that I've been doing over the course of my life where I'm making some changes for the better, but I still have lots of areas that I want to extend to. So I have a lot of things that I've had to work around throughout my life. Being transgender is only one of them. Being obsessive compulsive is one. Being having severe adult ADHD is another. Severe anxiety and depression disorders. I've had to deal with a lot of this stuff, and it's really, really difficult. And I've pushed in certain areas to better myself over where I started. For instance, as somebody who has had severe anxiety and depression issues my entire life, anxiety, when you have it really bad, like I've had, it can be crippling, more so than depression is, because depression just makes you not want to do anything. Anxiety is you want to do something, but you're terrified to do it. And for me, I can even get a combination of the two where it's like, I really don't want to do this, but I know I have to, but I don't want to because I'm scared. Like, you just know. So, ways that I've bettered myself in these categories are things like putting on a lot more confidence in what I do. It used to be I was just terrified. I didn't want to do it. No, 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 no. Now I still don't want to do it, but I do it anyway. And I put forward a level of confidence that a lot of people probably don't understand, like that's something you can actually exude is confidence. But I've gotten to a point where that's something I do. I don't, I still get nervous about things, but not so much that it really hampers me. For instance, going to like a job interview, people get really worked up and they're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I don't get that way anymore. Every job interview I can think of that I've gone to in the past, 5 years or so has been, I walk in there just confident, like they're going to ask me whatever they ask me, and either I got an answer or I don't. And most of the time I felt pretty confident, like I know I have answers to any questions they ask. They can ask me whatever the hell they want to ask me. I've got an answer for them. And when you exude that level of confidence, it immediately rises you up to like a whole nother level. And not only does you exuding that confidence bolster their opinion of you, but it bolsters your opinion of yourself. Because you know that you know what you're talking about. You know that you're coming across the way you want to come across. And it helps tremendously with anxiety. Not everybody can do it, I guess, because I guess for some people they're just so anxious and nervous and everything else that they haven't figured out how to step forward to that next step. But it's incredibly important. Another thing I've done is I've tried to write off worrying as a whole, like worrying about things, because in most cases in life you will come up with some sort of solution, or some solution will present itself that you worrying endlessly about it isn't going to change. The way I've always looked at it is, why worry about something? Because you've got a couple different things that could happen through worrying. Either you worry and whatever it is happens and there was nothing you could do about it, so worrying accomplished nothing, or you worry about it and it doesn't happen and you worried for no reason. Either way, worrying doesn't really do you much good unless you act on it. So if you're really worried about something and you act to better your chances or fix the problem, that's one thing. But just sitting around worrying and worrying and worrying accomplishes nothing at all. Beyond that, I talked about in another video, just a handful of videos back, about how role playing and video games have saved my life. Well, I've also had a lot of issues there. Role playing is something that I love to do, and I have worked myself up so much to be disappointed so many times. I used to go to work, and all I could think about all day while I'm at work is like, I can't wait to go home and get online and role play with my friends and, have fun. And then I'd go through the whole day and I'd get out and I'm on my way home like, oh man, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. And then I log in and nobody's around, or everybody's role playing with other people. Everybody's, doing whatever the hell it is they're doing instead of role playing with me. And when that happens a bunch of days in a row, I would start to get really upset about it, because I'm like, I want this so badly and it's not happening. And I used to have problems 15 years ago or whatever with that, where I would get so frustrated and so worked up and it would make me feel so crappy that I would do things like leave the guild I'm in, or quit the game for a while or whatever, and it was kind of like my way to act out towards somebody else, to show them that it's like a cry for attention sort of thing. And it's really dumb. What I do now is leagues better than what I used to do. And that's that, if I log in and I see everybody's currently busy with other people, instead of sitting there and brooding about it and letting them get the better of me and sitting in voice chat, listening to them talk about what they're doing and how much fun they're having and all this other stuff, I'll just log off. I log out of the game, leave voice chat, go play something else, go watch something, whatever. Just remove myself from the situation. Same thing goes with like confrontation and stuff. And this is where things get a little bit dicey. For most people, they feel like you should deal with confrontation, directly. You should just attack it head on, fight it, and get it over with. And like, that's how adults are supposed to handle things. For me, I can't, because confrontation causes me to kind of shut down. And I don't think clearly. I don't think straight. I can't, like my brain locks up and I just go into like, kind of like a defensive posture, like an animal that's cornered or something. And I just start lashing out and I'm just like, no, leave me alone. And I get really, really upset. And, the easiest way for me to deal with that kind of confrontation is to remove myself before I do or say something really, really stupid. I need to remove myself and have time to think. If I don't have time to think, it's not going to go well. And some people they don't deal with that. They don't understand it. They're like, oh, there they go, running away. They're not talking to me or whatever. And it's like, I have reasons for why I'm not doing that, because I don't want to say or do something stupid. I'm trying to remove myself so that I have the proper time to think about what's going on, figure out what is happening, and get back to it. Another example of where I've attempted to better myself in that regard is things like online discussions, debates, Facebook, YouTube, forums, whatever. When something pisses me off or really offends me or something to that effect, like my initial reaction is just to get angry and spew bile back at them and try to tell them what idiots they are and explain why they're idiots and everything else. And now I've come to this realization that doing that doesn't bring me joy. In fact, because I hate confrontation. So going in and telling somebody they're an idiot and explaining why to them, usually what I would do is I would do it, post it, and I would leave, and I'd never go back to look and see what they said or how they replied or whatever else. And it does really accomplishes nothing. It makes me feel crappy because if I so much as know that they've replied, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to see how they replied. I don't want to know. And it's really, really difficult. So I'm attempting to make steps, and I just did it earlier today even about something. Where I started posting a rant. I started writing this rant. I was just like, you idiots, I hate you. You're so dumb. How can you not see that this is this way or whatever? And then at some point I stopped myself and I said, do I really need to post this? And I didn't even put much thought into it. My immediate reaction was just, no, I don't need to post this. I deleted it and I moved on. And I'm trying to do that now as much as possible. I've actually considered stepping away from Facebook or things like that just because I don't even check Facebook anymore, really. It's very rare that I even log on Facebook and take a look at things because I don't want to get into those situations. I'm trying to avoid them at all cost because I think it's going to make me a better person to not get all riled up about things that I shouldn't get riled up about. Same thing as you'll see in the past couple videos I did. After I had those videos where I was just like really, really passionate about the crap that's going on in North Carolina and stuff, I've taken a step back, I've breathed more, and I'm just like, you know what? It'll get settled out in courts eventually. The Supreme Court's going to hear it. It's going to get taken care of one way or another. The problem will be solved. I need to just kind of let it happen. I can't get so worked up because it's not good for me. It's not good for my physical health. It's not good for my mental health. Me stepping back and just being like, whatever, I'd rather sit back and laugh at the idiocy of the governor rather than get worked up and fiery and yell and scream and everything else. I don't want to do that. I really don't. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help anybody else. It's not worth it. It's going to get fixed. Now, if at some point down the line, if the Supreme Court hears it and everything else, and it doesn't get fixed, that may be a different thing. That might be a different reaction from me, because at that point it's like, okay, things have gone horribly, horribly wrong, and something needs to be done about it. And if I have to take some of that burden on myself to stand up for what's right, okay. But right now, it should be okay. I think that everything's going to get settled and figured out in time. It's a matter of just letting things happen the way they need to happen. So I'm stepping back, trying to do that. There's so many different ways, though. Like I said, I'm trying to be a better person. All across the board, I'm trying to be a different person. I've realized that I've become very cynical and bitter about a lot of things, and I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to look at things with a more positive outlook. I'm trying to just let things roll off of me a lot more. Part of that, I think, is like I developed a lot more bitterness and cynical aspects from living in Philadelphia, from having my wife leave me, from hiding who I was as being transgender, and things like that. Just over the years have just piled up, and I've become very cynical and bitter about a lot of things in life. I'm not afraid to admit the fact that I have hated myself for almost my entire life, and I still hate myself now. That's why I'm trying to fix things, and I think a lot of people get really like when you say something like that you hate yourself, but I don't view that as necessarily a negative thing. It's accepting the fact that it's a thing, and I'm acknowledging the fact that I hate myself and who I am, because I want to fix it. I want to make it better. I want to improve. So a lot of people are going to be like, no, you're perfectly fine the way you are. No, I'm not. And that's okay. Maybe to other people, they think, oh, no, you're fine the way you are. But in my opinion, no, I'm not. I get into fights with too many people. I have almost no friends. People don't really want to hang out with me. They don't want to spend time with me. And I kind of understand why. Um, in fact, no, I do understand why. And it's not because it's not something that I'm like really bitter about that. It's a matter of that I know that I have problems that I need to fix, that I need to internally fix, that I need to figure out how to improve myself to a certain degree. I'm not trying to change who I am, but I'm trying to change my outlook on life and the way that I choose to do things. It's a long, hard process. um, I think a lot of people are like, they just want you to change who you are like that. They want you to do something different. Why do you get all angry and bent out of shape about this? This is ridiculous. And then when it happens again a couple weeks later, they're, why? I don't understand. Why? I already told you that this is ridiculous. Why are you doing it again? It's like, I can't stop doing what you want. Like, it doesn't work that way. So, I personally am taking like strides to better myself as a person and just raise myself up. It's a slow process. I'm not totally happy with how it's going or whatever, but there are areas where I'm like, you know what? I'm proud of the fact that I'm not this way anymore because I fixed it and I'm now this way. I have a lot of those things where I'm like, I'm ecstatic that I am so much better than I was in the past. So much better. So yeah, I mostly just wanted to talk about it for whatever reason. It popped in my head. Some things were happening. Something triggered my thoughts on it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm proud of myself that I stepped away from this situation. Other people don't really seem to understand. They think that that means that I'm really mad at them or that I'm upset at them and, things like that. I'm not. It's more that I'm separating myself before I do something stupid, before I have something snap inside my head and I do something just completely idiotic and ridiculous and you think I'm crazier than you already think I am. That's what I'm usually trying to do. So if I step away from you or I stop talking to you or, whatever it is, it's not because I'm mad at you. It's not because I hate you. It's because I need time to think and figure things out before I do something even worse. It's a matter of the fact that I recognize that now, whereas in the past I didn't. So yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about, strides that I'm making, things that I'm trying to do differently, and maybe other people out there have also been like struggling and stuff, and I just figure at the very least maybe you'll see somebody else that's also having those sorts of issues and you won't feel so alone. Maybe that helps. I don't know. Either way, thanks for listening and take it easy, guys. See you next time.